You're probably wondering why Dupuytren's disease got such a strange name. This is the fascia in the palm of your hand, and Dupuytren's disease attacks this palmar fascia to the point where there are nodules and cords and thickenings that cause the fingers to lose their ability. They lose the ability to straighten like that. Your fingers remain permanently flexed and they cannot straighten. When that starts to happen due to a tightening here, we call that Dupuytren's disease. It's called Dupuytren's disease because Baron Guillaume Dupuytren in Paris in 1832 decided to name this disease after himself. Legend is that he was a particularly self-centered individual who would arrive at the hospital at Hotel Dieu in Paris very early, do his ward rounds, teach the medical students, and apparently was quite good at what he did and became the chief of surgery at the age of 25. He was reported to be the personal surgeon to Napoleon Bonaparte, the latter 18th century. Bonaparte is said to have had hemorrhoids operated on by Dr. Dupuytren. Dupuytren named this condition after himself 5 years after it was actually first described by Sir Astley Cooper in London, and at that time in the mid-1800s, London and Paris were the two academic powerhouses of the world, and America hadn't really been put on the map yet. America became famous when they invented the anesthetic. Ether was first discovered by W.G. Morton in Boston, Massachusetts, and that put Harvard on the map for the first time in history. Interestingly, it didn't stop there. The Americans went into a long, drawn-out legal dispute over whether it was actually Morton or someone else who was the true inventor of the anesthetic. And so for years, not many procedures were performed in the United States compared to the flourishing uptake of anesthetic use in both London and Paris. Continental Europe, it became widespread. So Dupuytren discovered his fascial disease, but it was 14 years later, between 1832 and 1846, before he could give anyone an anesthetic in Paris and then really go to town on these things and remove them. I'm sure that all happened at that time, and it would have also happened in England, but America took a decade or so to catch up. But now, all of those places, it's very common, and it's a surgery which is done every day of the year. Here in Sydney, we see a lot of Dupuytrens. We have a strong mix of Anglo-Celtic skin lines, and so we are treating a lot of cases, and the research coming out of Australia is in some ways leading the world. We've had a lot of preeminent surgeons such as Jack Houston from Melbourne, who described the fire break procedure, and many others since him. So it's something which I've taken a real interest in because it would be rude not to. In fact, I've been to Saint-Tropez. I see that little sign behind me there. This is myself being invited to Saint-Tropez to speak to the French Hand Society on the very French disease of Dupuytren's, and I was very proud to get that invitation back in 2008. Anyway, those were fun times, and if anyone would like to know more about Dupuytren's, just get in touch. Thank you.